I decided to teach a class on the most incredible subject that I love so much, which is posing. Posing sucks. Nobody wants to do it. Do we agree? Nobody wants to do it, and nobody wants to be posed. What's the problem with posing? Don't people want to look reasonable in their photographs? But yet, people don't like it. Photographers don't want to do it, and clients don't want to be posed. Am I right? Except when the photos come back, you can't fix a pose in Photoshop, not even with Adobe's Firefly AI. You can't. Maybe soon. But right now, you still have to nail the posing. And the posing, to me, has been the savior of my entire career. I believe in teaching posing in a way that's not crazy. The reason why people hate posing is because you learn posing the wrong way many times. You learn posing by doing rules. Like, if you are a guy, you do this. If you are a girl, you do this. And if you're a girl, you put your leg and you go like that, and you bring your chin up. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a guy, you put your hands in your pockets and you don't point your thumbs to your penis, and all these different things that people say. And this is the struggle, that when we approach posing in that way, we look like robots, and we can no longer be our organic selves because we're in this robotic position that the photographer put us in. Things had to change. Things had to change, because without posing, no matter what you do with your lighting, your posing is going to be the first thing a client sees and says, I don't like the way I look. If you take a photo of a family and they're all like this, and they're all with their arms around each other, it doesn't matter how expensive your pro photo lights are. You are screwed, because you can't fix this to this. You have to be able to produce something that looks at least decent. So in 45 minutes, I'm going to try to put as much knowledge as easy as possible on the subject of posing, even though we only have a few minutes together. That's the goal. Are we pumped about that? Yeah. Are we pumped? And I mean it. I really mean it. Okay? So let's have a little challenge with each other. Let me see how much posing I can pass on in a small time together. Shall we? When I started this little goal of mine, I decided that the first thing I need to talk about is this next little slide right here. This slide took me over 10 years to realize that this was the secret to a lot of great posing. The mechanical side of posing is the style. It's where you put people's arms, legs, heads, torsos, and heads in whatever position you want them to be. That mechanical side is a nightmare, and people hate it. This is why people run away from posing, because they don't want to do the mechanical side. It looks mechanical, okay? But today, I'm going to show you a way to get that mechanical side and totally understand it. You're going to be able to pose after you leave this 45-minute class without being an expert in posing. You'll be able to produce great posed images. That's the goal, okay? The next part is mechanical is basically, just to make sure we all understand, mechanical means the body parts moving in whatever direction you need to move. Is that clear? So if you tell somebody, put your leg here, put your arm there, let's put your chin there, that's the mechanical side. The next one is the movement side. This is the part where people get tripped. Movement is necessary in posing, and mistakes are introduced when you start moving your subject. So if you tell your subject to move into a position, you're going to introduce mistakes. Those mistakes are going to manifest themselves in the mechanical part of the pose. And here's the first quite shocking thing I'm going to say. Mistakes, some mistakes, not all crazy mistakes, some mistakes are preferable in good posing. You actually want to have a couple of little things go off, because that means that the movement that you created makes the photo look on post, and a mistake here or there makes it look more realistic. This has been a very successful formula for me, even at the highest levels of photography. I'm a fashion photographer now. I used to be a wedding photographer. Even the highest magazines in the nation that I get published in like those little mistakes, and they like that about me, and I'll explain what those are. The next part is the last part. This is the part where a lot of psychology comes in. This is the expression side. You cannot tell people this, whisper something in her ear. And then people are like, I'm whispering something in your ear. And people, no, stop it. Stop it, you. Because every client knows that you're using the same cues with every client. Every client gets told, look out the window and see your unborn children in the clouds. No, enough is enough, okay? We don't want to see our unborn children in the sky. We don't care about looking out the window like we are dreaming about something. We need to stop this. You need to tell people where do they need to look, and then from there, you create movement, and then the mechanical side happens to be something that happens naturally. Let me explain that one. Here's the first, can I get a volunteer, please, real quick? I don't have much time. Come on. Come this way. Guys, here's the first round of applause for her, please, because that's very brave. Round of applause. Okay, just sit right there, right here. That's good. Yeah, just sit right there. That's amazing. Yeah, just chill. Let's just get comfortable for a second. There you go. Okay. Okay, don't move now. Freeze, 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 freeze. Do not move, not even your chin. Freeze. Okay, stay frozen for a minute. Okay. Guys, remember I told you the mechanical side is the part people hate because it's all these rules and you have to memorize all these things, and none of these things make sense. When you're under the pressure of a photo shoot, you forget everything, and your brain goes to Jamaica and has a margarita. Right? Am I right about that? When you're about to pose, don't you freeze and forget all about everything you learned about posing? That's because I'm going to show you a new way. Trust the body, but do not trust the spine. The spine is the betrayer. Do we hate the spine? Yes, we do. We hate the spine, okay? You go talk to it when you go to bed tonight. You say, I hate you, because the spine is programmed by the brain to relax. See, you're all slouching right now. Look at yourselves. You look terrible, okay? I mean it. I mean it. I mean that with love. You guys look like you're all slouching. Sir, what's your name? Alan, you're slouching. Can you please, yeah. Okay, you straightened out, that's fine. Okay, everybody's fixing themselves right now as we speak. That's fine. Whatever. Don't move. Don't move. Did she move? Yes. No, not at all. Don't move. Keep your fingers. Keep your fingers. You moved your elbow. Your elbow was slightly bent. There you go. Guys, here's the main thing. Trust the body, but do not trust the spine. What does that mean? Here's the biggest secret I'm going to give you in the 45 minutes. If you want to leave after this, you can. Don't do that, but you totally could. The body is programmed by the brain to get itself in a comfortable position. It's programmed that way. The body doesn't need to be posed by the photographer, every angle, every finger, every joint. It doesn't need to do it, because your brain, if you put someone sitting down or standing or sleeping or laying or whatever position you put them in, they're going to put themselves in a comfortable position. Am I right? Nobody says stand up and they stand like this. Nobody. Unless you're the guy from the Karate Kid, right? Nobody stands like that. Nobody talks to people like with their arms up, because it's not comfortable. Now, what's your name? Chantel. Chantel, that's a beautiful name. Now, take a look at Chantel for a sec. Can you all see her? If you can't, maybe stand up in the back for a second. But take a look at Chantel. She crossed her legs. Did I say to her, cross your legs? No. Her elbow is also a little bit bent. She straightened it, but it was a little bit bent, right? Don't adjust your spine. Her spine is doing what? Take a look. What's her spine doing? It's a slouch. It looks terrible. That's a major slouch, okay? But, it's true. But both of her arms are touching the floor. Why? Why do we either touch our legs or the floor? Why does the brain do that? Because the arm has weight. Do you want to carry your arm weight by yourself, or do you want to rest it on the floor? Or do you want to rest it on your leg? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Your brain says, this arm is full of muscle, as you can see, so it weighs a lot, all right? This arm weighs at least 10 pounds. Do you want to carry this 10 pounds like this, or do you want to just rest it? Do we automatically look for a place to rest our hands and legs? Have you ever seen a person stand and then they kind of bend their knees like that and they kind of bend their leg a little bit like that? Why do we keep switching our weight like this? Are we trying to give one leg a break and then we stand on both and then we give the other one a break like that? That's why you can trust the body. The body will never betray you, but the spine always will. So if you don't know how to pose, and you don't want to study posing because you don't want to read my books or anything like that, you just want to be a master without learning anything, just trust the body and don't trust the spine, and you're good. You don't have to read my books or nothing. You're set. Okay, you can leave. I'm just kidding. You're good. So if we were to take a photo of her, I would just say, okay, we're going to have her sit. She automatically put herself in a good position. Do you agree? Does she look like she's like totally sloppy, like all over, or does she look like she's pretty much ready to go? The body gives you 90% of the pose or 85% of the pose for free. You don't even have to study posing. It gives it to you 85%. You just have to add movement and expression to it. Remember the last two things we talked about in the little arrows? So if I want to add movement, how would you do that? Chantel, right? Chantel, go ahead and get up again. And I'm going to have you take a seat again. And I want you to take a look at this young lady over here. What's her name? Yeah. Cindy. Take a look at Cindy. Then take a look at the screen. Then take a look at the floor. Okay, you relax, nice and neat. Take a look at Cindy. Take a look at the screen. Take a look at the floor. Start laughing at the floor. Have a good time with it. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, that's so good. Now go ahead and look at the screen and laugh at that. Ah, that's so funny. Okay, and then look at Cindy again. That's amazing. Go ahead and take a look over there, and with my friend with a white shirt right there. What's your name, sir? John. Don? Take a look at Don. Now take a look at Cindy. Take a look at Don. Now go ahead and give a good laugh to Don. That's amazing. You see how she leaned forward a little bit? These are precious gems the body's giving you. If she didn't lean forward, I would have had to ask her to lean forward. I'll move on. But do you see how she looked natural? She was smiling. She was moving by herself. If you were to take a photo of her like this, she will look decent without knowing what's going on in the background, okay? So let's move on to the next slide real quick. Here's my wife and my two children. These kids don't pose, they're a disaster. I mean, I love them. But the two are like, literally they know that daddy's a photographer and they think it's funny not to listen to me, okay? So I put them in a position very quickly, and I knew that they were going to put themselves in a good, cute position without me doing anything. Even my wife looks good. I mean, she always looks good. All I had to do was tell my wife to push their spine up because I wanted them to have a good posture, because you cannot trust what? Never trust the spine. Look, it's a disaster again, okay? No, really, it's a disaster. Go ahead and straighten up. You want this curvature to be almost exaggerated. You want all your organs to be lifted by your spine. This is proper photography posture. This is how we move 24/7. This is how we get photographed if you don't have the right photographer. This is how you get photographed if you have the right photographer. Okay, so anyway, it works in every direction that you want. Who's a family photographer here? Anybody? Great. You don't have to do all these crazy rules. Put them in position, and 85% of the pose will be given to you for free. Look at this, look at her spine. This is a fashion editorial I was doing. Take a look at that spine. Does that look like it's nice and curved? Because I told her, you're doing great, just need to adjust the spine. Chantel, thank you. Round of applause for her, she did amazing. This photo just got published in Major Magazine, and it's so funny because people have tried to replicate this photo, and guess what the secret to this photo is? It's not the face, it's her spine. Her spine is lifting up her face and bringing her chin up and her neck like that. It was her spine that made it. Look at the spine. Look how curved that spine is. That spine gives you that.
The monitor, see if you can, right there. Oh,
that spine.
Where you had it right there, hold it right there.
Look, everything moves, but the spine stays. Okay?
Good. Ooh, that's
Look at her spine. No, you cannot move the spine, and that's the result of that. As soon as my eyes are going through the camera, I'm scanning that posture. I'm scanning it, because the body is going to do its thing. If you tell someone to stand here, they're going to automatically put their hands in this pole, in whatever this is called, a rail. They're going to do it. If I would have told anyone here, can you come up and chill here, you're going to go like this. Okay? And you're going to rest one of your knees. You're not going to stand like this. This takes more effort. Chilling like this takes less effort. This is what you would do. And this is a photograph. You just have to go from this to this. Does that make sense? And that's it. All right? Let's take a look at the next one here. Look at the spine, guys. Every single time people think, wow, Roberto, you're the most amazing people at posing ever. You're like, yeah, right. I didn't say anything. I just kept track of the posture. So I told the guy to stand behind the girl. Yes, I did a little bit of posing, but minimal. I just told him to stand straight, to stand as straight as possible. Look at her spine. It is actually overwhelming to me how unappreciated the spine betraying you can be, and trusting the body can be. You can literally walk out of here now and tell any client you have, lay down, sit down, stand up. Use objects like this, or the speaker, or the podium. Look at me. Here's the podium. Do I look okay? Because now my arm is resting on the podium. Now let's do the same pose without the podium. Does that look okay? What's wrong with this? Does this feel weird to you? Does this feel weird? How about, does that feel weird to you? What was the difference? The podium is carrying my arm's weight. So when our brain sees this photo, it's at peace. It's saying, oh, okay, the arm is resting. Look at my knee, it's bent. It's resting, okay? As soon as I go like this, the person, your brain, looking at me says, what is wrong with that guy? Like, something's wrong. Does he need to go to the bathroom? I don't know. Maybe that's his thing, okay? So you just have to keep track that when objects like the floor, a railing, a speaker, a podium, a tree, a swing, whatever, if you use that to carry part of the body's weight, you are golden, because the person will pose themselves, and all you have to do is keep track of what? The spine, okay? So let's move on to the next slide here. I'm gonna go a little quicker. Does that look like a good photo to you? The answer is no. What's wrong with this photo, guys? She's slouching, okay? This is a photo shoot for a commercial shoot for the jewelry and the dress. The jewelry and the dress, two different designers. So I tried to put the jewelry in the front. The girl slouched. Why did she do that? She's a professional model. Why would she slouch? Because she has a brain, and her brain says slouch. Slouch from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. That's what happens, okay? Unless a photographer tells you to adjust your spine, you're not gonna, okay? How about this? Here's what happens. The one on the left is what your body does not want to do. The one on the right is what we do all day long. All day long, okay? Now let's take a look at that. Does that look better? So she's not only with her spine arched, but she's also leaning forward. That's another major thing. Our lenses, our photographic lenses, whether you're doing video or photography, it compresses the scene. If you compress somebody, I see this all the time. I see a photographer and clients, and they lean them against the wall or they do whatever, but they don't lean them towards the camera. So you're not taking into account the lens compression, which makes, if you point a lens at somebody in their body, which is normally what they do, right? You're going to make this part look disproportional by like 3 or 4%. It looks weird. All you gotta do is fix the spine and do a 2-inch lean towards the camera, and the compression will not be your friend. It will not be your enemy, okay? So, look at that. Now, there's a small posing mistake here that I actually did on purpose, but I'll tell you what it is. The arm, the left arm, should not be that far out when the light is coming from the left, because it makes it look brighter than the face, and it's too distracting. The reason why I did that is because the jewelry was on the left hand. So I didn't tell the designer anything. I just took the photo with a mistake in mind, and I said, forget it, she's never gonna know, and she never knew, okay? So that's the thing. Look at the spine. Doesn't matter what we do, the spine is, I just told her, sit down, relax, enjoy, have fun, lean forward, boom, done. The next part is, have a vision. When people start posing, they start guessing. They start talking like this. Can I get a volunteer real quick, please? Another one, somebody else? Come on. Thanks for volunteering quickly, because I have short presentations, so. All right, stand right here, my friend, right on the stage. Right there where the rail is. Could you maybe perhaps possibly, I don't know, let me think about it for a second. If you would be so kind to put your hand on the rail. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Could you maybe possibly, if you don't mind, I don't want to anger you, but maybe switch the leg weight to the other leg? You're so kind. Could you, how about How about maybe we, nah. Maybe turn around and lean your back against the rail. Nah, let's go on the other rail. Nah, let's go on this one. Yeah, that sounds good right there. Yeah, not really feeling this. Let's move on, right? So we begin the posing process like this. Do we agree or not really? Do you see yourselves in this position sometimes? Doesn't that feel terrible to you? Don't you want to know? Don't you want to just know what's up? Watch this. Relax everything, man. Go back down the stairs, please. What's your name? Daniel. Daniel, nice to meet you. Go back down the stairs. Okay. Please sit down. I'm just kidding. Come back over here. Come back over here, Daniel. Go ahead and chill by the pool there. Stand all the way and just chill. Did I tell him to cross his legs?
No.
Did I tell him to put his hand on the rail?
No.
Did I tell him to put his hand in his pocket?
No.
The only problem is his thumb is pointed towards his penis. No, I'm saying the body gives you 85%, remember? So you just have to keep track of the thumb. Men love pointing in that direction. Don't know why, but it's a thing. Maybe it's to protect it. I don't know what it is. But every time you do anything, they're always like.
It wasn't in your book.
Did you read my book?
I have 3 of them.
You have 3 of them, all right. Did you actually read them or are they collecting dust? Okay. Usually people buy my books as paperweights. Nobody reads them, they just buy them, you know. Does he look like he's ready to go for a photo? So, yeah. So now from here, I would have him turn your face this way a little bit. Not so much, a little bit, come back this way. Now lean forward from the hips, that's it. From here, just lean forward an inch. That's it, guys, don't go any further. Boom, picture. Stay right there, stay right there. Now bring your chin towards me, more this way, boom, picture. I'm gonna go over here, keep yourself in that position, bring your eyes to me, boom, picture. I did not have to pose anything. He did it for me. Are you a master at posing? Just say no. Okay, thank you, man, appreciate it. All right, round of applause. Have a vision, guys. A vision turns a snapshot into a photograph, and a photograph with proper posing and lighting can turn into a portrait. Let me ask you a question. Go ahead and talk because we don't have much time. What is the difference between a snapshot and a photo, just a photo of a person? A snapshot, what's the point of a snapshot?
Quick.
It's quick and it's to remember what was happening in that moment. You're not caring what's going on. You just take a snapshot, right? So if you want to remember something, you go, boom, snapshot, right? What's the difference between a snapshot and a photograph of someone? Now the photograph means that the person you're shooting is the main subject. Now you have a subject, right? And what is the difference between a photograph and a portrait of a person? Oh, God, can we please give her a round of applause? Because that is funny. Who said that? That's good. Can I use that? Thank you. It will be in the next book. What's your name? In case I remember, I'll credit you. Roberto Valenzuela? Okay. When I started my career, I bought Canon's most expensive cameras, and all I was getting was snapshots. And I took my camera to CPS. I didn't understand why my photos were so sucky. So I kept taking the cameras for repair. Okay? I was like, something's wrong. This is a snapshot of Joe. Joe is a legendary cowboy that models for us at the Photo Creators Conference. Who has heard of the Photo Creators Conference in Tucson, Arizona in this room? 4 people? 5 people? No, seriously, have you heard of the Photo Creators Conference? Okay. He models for us at the ranch at the Photo Creators Conference, and I took a snapshot of him to make this point. Then I asked him if I could take a photo of him, just a photo, which means he's the main subject, but I didn't care about posing or lighting. I just wanted you to know he's the main subject. So here's the photograph of Joe. Look at the lighting, terrible. And the posing is terrible too. But then I told Joe, because I was teaching a class at the Photo Creators Conference, I wanted to do a portrait, and I wanted to use posing and lighting for that portrait. I wasn't worried about what I was gonna do, because the body takes care of itself. I only have to worry about one thing. What is it? The spine. So I knew that when I knew that this guy, he's the one that makes the, what do you call those things that you put on top of a horse, a saddle? He's the one that makes the saddles for all the horses at the ranch. So I asked him, okay, a portrait is supposed to say something about the person, right? Now people think you have to be this posing master to do this portrait. You don't have to be posing nothing. You don't even have to buy or read my book. It's a waste of time. Just pay attention to this and you're good, okay? Look at this. That's a photograph. Look at the portrait of Joe. That is a portrait. The saddles that he made are in the background. And the posing was so simple. He was standing over here in the middle of the saddles. And I noticed this piece of wood. And as soon as I noticed that piece of wood, what did you think my brain thought of? What did I just say about body parts being heavy? Rest them. See, you don't have to know anything. I used a piece of wood and I said, hey, Joe, can you just come up and just chill here? And he just chilled. I didn't even tell him, put your hand on the wood. As soon as his brain saw the wood, his brain held onto it, okay? Now, I did tell him to point his face in this direction because I wanted to make it look like window light. There was no light in this at all. This was a dark room with a little, terrible little tungsten light bulb from the 1960s just hanging around. It was like exposed cables and everything. It was very bad. And I was just like, okay, let's just do this. So that's the only thing I did. Look at his posture. I fixed his posture, and that's it. And then I took the photo with 3 lights. One for the background, one for the front overall, and one for his face, the key light on the right side of his face. Here's another one of posing. Posing is incredible what it can do to somebody. Here's a normal headshot posed properly, but it's boring. Lighting is boring, posing is boring. The next one is where I decide to use my posing knowledge to create more excitement in the pose, even though it's still just a headshot. So take a look at this. There's one shoulder high, one shoulder down. That's starting to be more active, right? I asked her to kind of bend her lip a little bit, play with her lips. Why did I do bend your lips, play with your lips? That's the movement side. Remember I said movement? So even if you tell someone, stay there you are, just kind of play with your jaw, and they start playing with their jaw, that's the movement, okay? I had a class where people said, oh, I thought movement was they have to keep getting up and down the stairs every 5 seconds and redoing the pose. No. Movement just means moving the eyes, moving the chin, moving the lips, moving the jaw. Anything that's movement, it's all you need to do. This is why reading my posing book would be a waste of your time because I'm giving it to you right now. Everything, okay? And then the third one, the next photo is to demonstrate the power of posing and lighting to create even a more exciting photograph. A photograph that makes you feel something. Look at this next one. Okay, that's a beautiful picture. And, portrait, right? And this, how was this posed? She was laying down on this one. I had a chest of, what do you call this, like a little treasure chest thingy for posing props, you know what I mean? You know those old things you buy, they look like little chests for treasures and stuff? What is it? A what? Yeah, it's like a little thing. I just said, I don't have to know posing. I just have to lay her down and her body will fix itself. And then I adjusted her spine. So was I worried about telling this actress in LA to please like lay on this weird thing and be all uncomfortable? No, because I trusted the body and all I had to do was keep track of the spine. So she lay down and then I changed her spine to be straight and then there it is. Then I did the lighting to make it look like that. Which one do you guys like more? This one? Can we go back one? Oh, can I do it here? Which one do you guys like more? The normal one, the more active one, or the more portrait one? That one? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip a few things here because I wanna make sure I get to the good stuff, but actually I'll go ahead and do this, but here's the have a vision, okay? You are free to have a vision now because whatever your vision is, the body will take care of itself. Look at the vision here. Here is my work. I was teaching a class here. You see those bushes? You see those bushes right there? That was enough for me to have my vision. I thought I would put the people there. So I put the people there. See, there they are. Isn't that cool how they just magically appeared? Okay. And then I didn't know what to do. I put the 2 models there, and I'm like, well, I'm screwed. Don't know what to do now. I put them on top of a chair because I wanted to get the full trees in the background, no floor. Now, as soon as I put them on top of the chair, my brain froze, just like everyone else. And I was teaching a workshop where I'm supposed to be the expert. So I just said, hey, I'm gonna trust the body. So here's the final photo of that. I told them, lean against each other, and I adjusted their spine. This is a very awesome result. This was published for the designers. Here's another one that was done. So very simple thing that I'm trying to put in your head right now. If you have a vision, don't be scared to execute that vision because the body will take care of itself. Trust me, it will. It will give you 85%. So it will not give you everything. It is your job to study posing to get the extra 15%. But if you don't know what to do, trust the body, but do not trust the spine. Okay? Here's another one. I had two guys leaning on this was taken in a hotel room like this. In the carpet, I found a mirror. I thought, okay, I'm gonna use this mirror. I put them there. I told them, look at her spine, totally straight. Look at his posture, totally straight. This is a cool photo. Did you think my brain visualized this entire photo before I took it? No. No one can do that. I mean, maybe you can. It's just very hard to do. What I'm trying to say is visualize where the body's gonna be positioned. On the floor, are they sitting, are they standing? And then go ahead and let the body do its thing. Okay? I'm gonna skip this one because this one, not as important. Okay, I do wanna get to this one though. I don't wanna get to communication. This is what kills me this is where I really wanna help photographers, okay? There's a psychology to talking to people when you're posing them. Can I get a volunteer real quick?
Yeah, we have one right here, a model that we brought you.
Oh, yeah, can you come here? Wait, Teresa? Teresa? Round of applause, guys. Teresa in the house. When you're working with moms, dads, high school seniors, babies, children, or models, she happens to be a professional model. She's gonna be at the Canon booth tomorrow. I'll be there at 4. Make sure you don't miss that. Here's Teresa. If I have a camera and I'm talking to her, okay? At first, I'm gonna communicate with her like I like everything she's doing, and maybe I do. That's gonna give Teresa confidence that whatever movement she's doing, it's being received properly by me. So for example, okay, Teresa, stand right here like this, cross your legs, and let's just move shoulders and start to move. I'm taking photos, okay, let's see, take a picture, boom, take another one. That's amazing, beautiful. Bring one arm down, amazing, good. Keep that straight, good, arms back, oh, that was really nice. From here, now her and I are connecting and she feels like whatever she's doing, it's a positive thing. Do you see what I'm saying? While I am appreciating what she's doing, my brain is looking at possible posing mistakes that could be causing problems. She's a model, not a photographer. If she brings one of her hands towards the camera like this for any reason, that hand is going to become the main focus because of the lens. Does that make sense? If she brings her elbow towards the camera like that while she's posing, I cannot have that because this will become a photo of the elbow. But you don't want to tell a person, a mom, a dad, a baby, a high school senior, or a child, or a model, can you bring your elbow, like just, oh God, don't do that, don't do that, no, 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 okay? That's not good energy, all right? So what you do is you go like this. All right, let's go ahead and bring the elbow back down again, and then we'll do it in movements, okay? So I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so we're moving a little bit, small movements, beautiful, bring the elbow, just make the mistake naturally, bring the elbow towards me. There you go, and I'm gonna be, okay, that's super nice, look over here, beautiful, bring the elbow down, back a little bit, nice, bring your arm down, oh, that's amazing, beautiful. You see how I just kind of slipped it in? Now, people think that's crazy. Well, it's not. You want to have really good positive energy between you and the person you're shooting. You don't want to have a, no, don't do this. Can you imagine if I went like this? Go ahead and let's try this again. Let's move a little bit. That's good. Cross your legs. Keep moving your torso. Yeah, I don't really like that. Let's switch that. Yeah, that's not really working for me. How does that feel to you? Do you like that? No. Is that gonna give you good results with moms, dads, high school seniors, family portraits, whatever? Never. Slip it in. Slip it in, okay? So, thank you. Thank you. Guys, I'm gonna have to go quickly because I wanna get through this, but you gotta speak with energy. Don't grab your camera. Let me see. Can I borrow your camera, Mandy, real quick?
Of course, sir.
Don't do this, guys. And this happens a lot. That's okay. You just leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it.
Tap off.
Leave it. Oh my God. Don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I like what you're doing there. That's beautiful. Yeah. You cannot hear me? What? Oh. Maybe try to put your hand on the. No, you're not. You know, you're terrible. Just get out of here. Like, you can't talk to people behind the camera. You gotta get out and you gotta talk to them. When you are shooting, if the camera is in front of you, you gotta be loud, you gotta be direct, you gotta be decisive, okay? It would also help you to do this thing called pre-pose instruction. Pre-pose instruction is when the model is getting her hair and makeup done, you tell her some things that you're going to tell her, and then she will know, okay, when Roberto tells me this, I'm gonna do that. That's pre-posing. Let me show you what I mean. Here's me pre-posing this model. I'm talking about her eyes and her forehead muscles. Let's try that. Let's bring your chin up and bring your closer eye. You're gonna have, it's like a sleepy look almost. So keep looking at me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to bring that bottom eyelid up. Get in there, but what happened is every single person, when you tell them to bring their chin down and eyes up, they activate their muscles on their forehead. And that is a death sentence for a photograph. You don't want a person looking like this. Okay? So I'm telling her pre-posing, hey, when I tell you to do this, keep your forehead really relaxed. You guys want to try it real quick? Bring your chins down, and then bring your eyes up back at me. See, all of you, I can tell by the light you activated your forehead. Snap out of that. Try it again. Snap out of that. You guys are terrible. Okay. Bring your chin down. Do not activate your forehead. Now look up with your eyes. Do not activate your forehead. Does that take more work? Yeah. That's how you do it, okay? Now this is pre-set posing. This is before I'm about to do a set. I tell her, hey, if I notice there are things that she's doing with her body that are not working, I don't tell her, don't do this, don't do that. I do it before the set. Watch this. And then you're gonna pop your head forward a little bit. It's gonna make your face more prominent. If you do this, your shoulders fight with your face. Keep the whole, yep. And it's gonna make your neck look longer too. You can go chin up, chin down, left, right. Just keep yourself in movement. Okay, a lot of magic in those words. When I say keep yourself in movement, I'm just basically hiding the fact that I just told her stop doing this. Does that make sense? If she starts doing this, she's looking like she's slouching. So I'm telling her, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and keep yourself in movement. But if you do this, it's gonna look like you're like slouching and it's competing with your body. So she's getting an explanation. I'm never telling her you're screwing up. Never. I'm just telling her, let's do this. And she was like, okay, cool. There's the model, and this is Miss Utah. And so don't worry. The key is to keep the breathing and the movement. And keep believing, strong, confident, own it, get into the music, feel movement.
Stepping in.
Okay, that was the most important part. If you're posing somebody and they're in the middle of the posing, if you give them psychological reinforcement, like what I just told her, own it. Own what you're doing. Like you're looking, the confidence has to be there. If you're photographing a family, say, Mom, that looks amazing. Like, you gotta give them that confidence, and then fix the spine. Let me play that one more time. Pay attention, please. So don't worry. The key is to keep the breathing and I said don't worry at the beginning. So don't worry. Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't worry. Watch this. So don't worry. The key is to keep the breathing and the movement, and keep believing, strong, confident, own it, get into the music, feel movement.
Stepping in.
You can almost see her you can almost see her come out. Do you see her? And this is called conversational posing. And it's actively conversing with them while you're posing them. So you're hiding the posing instructions in a conversation. Does this make sense to everybody? Is this helping you guys at all? When you go out with your cameras and you pose someone, try it. Try conversational active posing. Don't tell them, don't do this, don't do that. Give them reinforcement and then have them move and say, that looks amazing, more confident, powerful, own it, strong, beautiful, yes, graceful, and their personality will come alive because you're saying, don't worry about it, just keep moving, okay? That's what I wanted to show you guys. That's really important. This is a funny one, but corrective posing. Oh yeah, this is corrective posing followed by positive reinforcement. So the model was screwing up, and I had to find a way to tell her not to do certain things without telling her not to do certain things. So check it out. It's called corrective posing followed by positive reinforcement. So check this out.
Good. Good. That was fire. That was fire too.
Bad.
Fire. Good.
Really bad.
Bend the elbows just a little bit.
See, there it is.
Good.
There's the correction.
Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good. Good. Beautiful. Nice. 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 Good.
If I would have told her to stop putting your arm like this, in my book, Picture Perfect Posing, I say, if you have anything that is a straight line, it looks like a pointer. Like if I'm telling you, if I'm having a conversation with, what's your name? Cindy. If I'm having a conversation with Cindy about my breakfast, and then I point my arm in this direction, and I'm talking to her about my cereal this morning, she's not gonna be able to understand anything I'm saying because she's looking at my arm pointing in this direction. That happens the same in posing. If you put your finger, if you're doing this with your hand, and your one finger becomes straight, now you're pointing right at your nose. What's wrong with you, right? But if your finger is nice and soft, you're cool, okay? So you have to keep in mind that if I try to correct her while she's posing, I might affect her confidence. If you mess up a person's confidence, very hard to get it back, okay? Very hard to get it back. Here's a funny video. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but just laugh at it.
You don't have a double chin. What you do have is bad posture. So all you need to do is 2 steps. Bring your shoulders up, back, and down. Bring your chin slightly forward and then slightly down, and look at the difference that makes.
I couldn't help myself, but I was like, okay, that's very true, and that looks terrible. But, you know, anyway. The next photo is, I'm gonna skip through it quickly because I don't have time, but when I saw this video, which I'm sure some of you have seen, when I saw this video on TikTok or whatever, I thought, okay, they're being funny about how this guy interacts with his clients, but one thing you're missing is that he's keeping that client active the whole time. There is an active energy in that client at all times because of what this guy is doing. Now, by no means am I saying do this, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I just want you to concentrate on the energy that he puts out without the ridiculous movements. Is that clear? Okay? Watch this.
Look at each other. Look at each other. Look at each other.
Look at the groom and the bride. Look at the energy.
Okay, walking towards me. Holding hands. Holding hands, walking towards me. Walk if you can.
I don't know why he's hopping and all these things. Like, I don't know why that turnaround was necessary. What? I don't know what that was for. Like that hip.
Forget about the bow. Forget about the bow. Loving it. Loving it. Right. Loving it.
I just want you to concentrate on the fact that his energy matches the energy he wanted from the client. Whereas photographers hide in their quiet little shy selves, and then they expect the client to be full of energy. If you want the client to have energy, you gotta put energy too. It goes both ways. It's a two-way road. Does that make sense? So in posing, you gotta have, if you want the posing to look active, you must be strong and active yourself. Okay? I'm not saying jump around like this, but I'm saying be strong. I'm gonna show you this photo shoot I did and how I post it. And I wanna be very truthful about how I post everything because people thought this was posed to perfection. And it was actually done 90% by the clients because of trust the body, do not trust the spine. This is an actor, and this was gonna be in a cover of a magazine in Latin America. And they asked me to do an editorial story on him. And here's the photos. So I saw the chair, I had him sit down. That was my decision, that was my vision. Sit down was the vision. Why not standing? Because by sitting, you get another perspective on him. Here's what I'm saying. In posing, usually you have the photographer stance and the client stance, and they're both standing directly in front of each other. That's the most common type of photo, post photo people have. You have the photographer on one side, and then you have the client on the other side, and this is the interaction. The minute that angle changes, it becomes a lot more interesting to the eye. So I said, sit down, because I want to change the perspective. So I had him sit there. There's the lighting. Look at the pose. Really cool. I put a piece of furniture, whatever it was at the bottom, and he by himself put the leg up there, put the elbow there. So this was all done mostly by him. Do you notice that spine is super straight? Okay. Here's another one. I use my Pro Photo Light to mimic the sun every time through a doorway. If you ever see a doorway, even if the sun is coming through, put a light there, and it will look a lot better. So here's the light position, and here is me, and there is the guy sitting down again, and there is me telling him what to do and how to pose and keep the spine straight and lean forward, and this is the final photo for that. Super simple. I just had to do 2 seconds of explanation. This is the energy I want you guys to have. Posing takes 5 seconds. The body will do most of it, okay? Here's another one. Here's another one. Now he's standing by the bar. Look at the lighting, how terrible that lighting is. But I'm pre-posing him. This is the pre-pose. So I'm telling him how to shake the shaker, how to stand, how to cross his legs, how to do all this. And this is the final photo for that, okay? Here, this one was the most risky, and I'm gonna show you this because this was a lesson for me. There was a couch, and I saw those little leaves. See those little things? What are they called? You buy them at Z Gallery? What are they called? Pampas? Okay, they're pampas, whatever that is. Okay, I saw them in a little vase, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's like, I gotta use that. So I laid him on the couch, and here's this actor who's pretty big, and I'm telling him to hide his face with his things. And I thought, man, I'm gonna screw this up. And I said, I gotta trust myself, trust the body, trust the body. And I made a lighting mistake. So you see how the lighting is pointed directly at him? Well, if you do that, the lighting is gonna hit the pampas. Is that what they're called? Close enough? And it's not gonna hit his face, and it's gonna cause a shadow. So when I took the first photo, it was a total disaster. I was like, started sweating, you know? I was like, oh man, this is bad. And then I pointed the light towards the roof, and I made the whole light bounce from the roof down, and that created the most amazing photo, which is funny because there's a story about that, but check this out. This was the most risky photo I took. I took the risk because I knew that the body would take care of itself. So I wasn't afraid to take a chance, okay? So that photo, as ridiculous as it looks, turned out to be like, once I fixed the light and I pointed towards the ceiling, it looks like this at the end. You guys like this one? You guys like it? If you like it, say yay, and if you don't like it, say boo. Yay, all right. All right? And the funny part about this is that this became the cover of the entire story. I was like, what? Like the magazine guy's like, yeah, this is gonna be the cover of the story, this is gonna be everything. It's like, that's hilarious. That was the worst imaginable situation I could have done. But that's what happens. Let me show you a couple of other things here because I want to close it. Yes, lens compression. Take a look at this lens compression situation. In posing, the lens that you choose really affects the pose. So here's what happens when you become good at posing. Here's what will happen to your brain. You grab your camera. When you put a 50 millimeter on, you know what poses look good with a 50 millimeter. When you put a 70 to 200 on, and you zoom that to 200, I know what poses will look amazing at 200. If you put a 15 to 35 and you click it on your camera, my brain has like an entire encyclopedia of things that will look amazing with a 15 to 35. But if you don't know this, and you combine a 15 to 35 lens with a pose that goes for the 70 to 200, you're gonna end up with a really stupid photo, okay? So here it is. Take a look at this girl take a look at the girl on the left. Look at her arm. Looks nice and normal, right? She has her arms down, this one has her arms up. Then she lifted her arm, and I didn't say anything, and I took the photo. This was taken with a 200 millimeter 2.0. Look at her arm now. She looks like T-Rex. Okay? She looks like T-Rex. Now, my angle and the lens that I had wasn't the right combination for that movement. That's why you need to know these things, okay? But that is shocking. Now, here's a 15 to 35 done for a shoe commercial. This makes the shoe look bigger. That's what you want. So this distortion works because it's a photo for the shoe. But this would have worked if you're doing a shoot for Jurassic Park. But I was not, okay? I'm gonna finish with something kind of cool. I'm gonna show you two main things here. This is practice that I do. It's called the Freeform Posing Challenge. I do this, I don't know, I used to do it every week. I do it every month now, maybe every 2 months. It is a difficult exercise, but I'm gonna give it to you, so if you wanna try it, it will make you really sharp with your posing. If you can do freeform posing, means that there is no props, there's no metal, there's nothing. You're just having the person stand in front of you, and you are gonna have to move elbows and arms and legs and head and legs and twist. You, the photographer, does that, and you take a photo. Then you take another one, and you take a photo. And you take another one, and you take a photo. Out of the 50 photos that you take, you're gonna go back to your hard drive, and you're gonna see them all. And you're gonna study what percentage of those photos got screwed up, and why. And if you actually write down why the photo looks screwed up, you are on your way to mastering posing. Does that make sense? So here's my exercise. This is a time lapse of it, so you can see every single photo that you're gonna see here, I posed her. And I took a photo and then I put them all together. This is the exercise. I do this all the time. Right now, maybe once every 2 months.
Days been talking low, unknowing the codes. You and I.
Look at her hips, legs, arms, head, neck, shoulders.
Walking in the rain, finding better days. You and I. 'Cause you got that sunshine here on a cold night. You've been on my mind, but I got you by my side. Sunshine got me up all night, summer on my mind. Glad I got you by my side.
That took me a long time to be able to do. A long time. Now, out of 100 photos that I take, 98 are right on the money. But it takes practice to be able to do that. Who's gonna try it? No one? Awesome. Okay, 2 people. Okay, the last thing I want to say is I want to just finish with something fun. I think that when you become, when your lifestyle is about practicing your photography like a pianist would practice piano and a violinist would practice violin, if we actually take photography the same way, you're going to become quite good. And when the pressure's on, you will come through. If you keep your camera on the bags and the zipper's closed and it's on the closet until you have a photo shoot, you're not going to become a great photographer. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how many books you read. The camera is like a musical instrument. It needs to be practiced for you to perform a concert. Does that make sense, the analogy? Okay? I got a call by Adobe, and Adobe wanted me, and Canon, and Adobe and Canon wanted me to do an exhibition shoot that was done out of camera. They wanted an out-of-camera exhibition shoot at Adobe Max. You guys have heard of Adobe Max, the convention? And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? They're like, we want you to take the most spectacular photos in front of everyone out of camera, and then we're gonna print a photo large for everyone to see. Everything you take. And there will be no time. It would just be from there straight to the printer. I was like, dear Lord. No problem. No, until I saw that the place they gave me was from this corner to this, and from here to here. And this is my entire shooting area. I only had a few pro photo lights and a little background. I was just like, this is where I'm gonna do all this crazy magic? That's right. Okay, so here's what happened. You guys wanna see it? These photos are posed and lit by me out of camera, okay? Here's the first one. So you guys notice when the model moved like this, and she turned around like that? That was the movement I needed to create this photo, okay? Let's go to the next one. Did you guys like that one or no? Yay or boo? What's that? That was drag shutter, not double, but these photos I'm gonna show you are gonna get extremely complicated very soon. Watch this. Look at this one. That's out of camera, okay? With just a couple of lights and nothing else. Her face, and then I created this out of camera. You should have seen people's reactions when I was taking this out of camera. And my point was, you guys, we buy these machines. We have to respect them. They do amazing things. Look at the next one. Here's the photo that you saw earlier. Let's look at this one now.
1, 2, 3, go.
There's the movement.
One more time. Keep
I'm gonna
going.
speed up.
1, 2.
Here's this one now. Out of camera. Now let's go to this next one.
Let's try it. 1, 2. Keep the way it is. 1, 2, 3. Per second. 1, 2, 3. Turn it around. Camera backwards.
Look, I'm shooting with my camera totally backwards now. Completely backwards.
1, 2, 3.
And that photo,
Okay, pretty cool. Give me 1 sec. I'll show you guys in a minute.
you guys want to see the photo or no?
I'm gonna now do
All right,
dark.
here we go.
Just a sec.
That's out of camera. Isn't that cool? Now, because I have to go, I'm going to quickly move on to the next one. This is the grand finale. So Adobe told me to do a grand finale in front of everyone. That was the most spectacular one of them all. I was like, yeah, no pressure. Thank you very much. So that background is the makeup artist scarf. I took it out of her neck and I used it as a background. And then I used every camera technique that I knew to make that look like translucent, fluorescent. Watch this.
And then chin down on the second. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Record me doing this crazy. 1, 2, ready, go.
Look at that shaking of the camera. And here's the final photo.
Okay, go the other way. So take a step that way. That's it.
Look at that guy holding the light.
Let's go to 2.5 seconds.
2.5 second exposure.
Go.
Boom, camera shakes,
Oh, that looks cool,
second
guys.
exposure, and final photograph. Thank you. Here's the video of that happening.
And I'm feeling good.
No, wait, yeah. And I just need one more. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. And that's the final photo, guys.